Hi, folks. I'm Jamie Hiles.
I'm Lydia Judy.
I'm Derek Lemaster.
This is Scream Bloody Movies, the podcast where we review a horror movie each week. And tonight we are crossing off a big one as we finish the third in George Romero's Dead saga. It's not a trilogy anymore, not since 2005. It's not. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
I'm doing well.
Good,
Thanks
good,
for
good.
asking.
I am doing okay. I've got a little bit of a cold. So if you hear me coughing or my voice goes out, I apologize. I am playing hurt, but I'm here. So, guys, we've got a lot to talk about tonight with George Romero's Day of the Dead. But first, we got to talk about some big news that happened. Obviously, we have to address the passing of James Van Der Beek that just recently happened. That's a tragedy. As of this recording, it happened yesterday. What are you guys' thoughts?
It's just really sad.
Yeah, I agree. I looked it up on IMDb and that it premiered in 1998. So I was a freshman in high school. Lydia was a newborn baby. And Jamie wasn't far behind me, but it just makes you feel old and sad. It's all around.
I was in middle school. It's like old what's his face? It's like the agent in Die Hard. I was in junior high, dickhead. Yeah, tragic stuff. There's a ton of great tributes to him. And not a bad word has been spoken about the guy. So, thoughts to his friends and family, especially his 6 kids and his wife. It's tragic. And on the good news front, we're doing Day of the Dead. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about your guys' first time seeing this movie. Is this either of your first watch of Day of the Dead?
No.
Mm-mm.
Do you guys remember your first time watching it?
No.
I do.
don't. You do?
I do. I watched it like not too long ago, like within the past like 5 or 6 years maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took me a while, but I eventually got there, and I cannot tell you how life-changing this movie was. It's I really was blown away by this movie.
Derek, do you remember the first time you watched this thing?
No, because I'm old, and this thing came out in 95. I probably watched
85.
this.
85, Derek.
I'm looking right at it, and I even said 95. But I saw this movie in the mid 90s. I mean, and it's not one that I've seen a lot. So it's been a while, and it makes me feel old.
Yeah. This is one that I remember discovering around the year 2000, I'd say. Around the year 2000. 99, 2000. I had seen Night of the Living Dead. I don't remember the first time I saw Night of the Living Dead. I remember one time watching it in school, which was kind of wild, but I don't remember the first time I saw Night of the Living Dead. I remember the first time I watched Dawn of the Dead. And that was when I was younger as well. But this one I hadn't seen until around that time, 1999, 2000. My grandpa had it on VHS, and he asked if I wanted to watch any of his movies, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I want to watch Day of the Dead." Is this is a zombie movie? Yeah, this is a sequel to Dawn of the Dead, and I was like, "Really? Okay." So I remember putting it in the old VHS and sitting in the living room with the lights out, and I remember just kind of being gobsmacked at what I was watching because I was by myself in the living room, and I'm kind of like, God damn, that's pretty bleak. It's a dark one. It's a dark one, but damn, is it beautiful. So as the years went by, I bought it on various home media consoles, various home media versions. And yeah, so this is not the first time I've seen this by a long shot. Actually, when I watched it tonight, I was like, I just kind of knew everything that was going to happen, obviously, but like almost like lines even. But what's funny is I was watching it more critically this time because we're reviewing it. So I was just kind of blown away by the visuals of this movie, like the cinematography and the framing of shots. And I was like, oh, okay. I knew I liked this one a lot for a reason. And I think that's a good place to start because the way this movie opens, I think is stunning. All of it. From the opening shot, where the first shot we see is her in an empty room, this stark, white, empty room. And we get just like the little hint of some music. And it's just this slow burn. And then she walks over to the calendar and the arms come out for a great jump scare. And then we're into the helicopter. What do you guys think of that opening? The opening 20 seconds of this movie.
It's crazy that they put a jump scare in like that amount of time. It's so fast in this movie.
Yeah, they're wanting you to know.
Yeah, no,
What do
I
you think,
agree.
Derek?
It was visually it worked really well. And
Yeah,
coming through that brick, it just yeah,
it's a cool visual. And I
it
love
was.
I like just the aesthetic of the stark white room and just her in the center of it. It's a great well framed shot. It's just like a piece of art. Like, oh, okay. And then though the best thing, one of my favorite things of the whole movie is when we see when we're going through the remnants of the city and the newspaper blows across and it says the dead walk. And then we pan up to that fucking awesome zombie that's missing his whole bottom jaw.
Mhm.
Iconic. Iconic. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So good. It's so cool. I remember being a kid and watching that. And then when I watched it tonight, just the newspaper, I was like, oh, yes, the best. And then him, I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is cinema. Here it is.
Yeah.
Bam.
I nudged Jake and I was like, "Oh, come on. We don't want to see that." And I like put my
Yeah.
hands up. It's like
Oh,
messing with
gross. What are
it.
you doing? Disgusting.
Yeah.
Speaking of disgusting, the special effects in this movie are fucking wild. And we'll get
They're
into them, but they
so
are
good.
fucking so good and so wild.
Yeah.
Um, but what do you guys think of the look of this movie? Like the framing of the shots, like even when they're down in the tunnels, especially towards the end, and you see like just their kind of silhouettes and the muzzle flash of their guns as they're hunting down the zombies. And there's a great shot of the elevator coming down in the beginning that shows Miguel as they're coming down, which is mirrored at the end when he brings the horde down to him, right? Some great
Mhm.
fucking visual storytelling. What do you guys think of the way this movie is shot?
It's pretty awesome. There's a lot of like dynamic things at play here because you have like the tunnel and then you
Hmm.
have these like rooms that they are all just you just feel trapped with them.
Very claustrophobic. Yeah.
Yeah, except if you're the pilot and the other guy, man, they're freaking hangout, dude.
Oh, dude. Yeah. We'll talk about the characters in a second, but yeah,
Sign me up.
John and Bill are the best, man. John and Bill are like my favorite characters in like the entire Dead franchise, I think. They're pretty fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I love the way that this movie looks, and I also really like the score a lot. I think the score really packs a punch, and it's like that opening theme, especially. I was singing it earlier I was like humming it, and Derek said, "What are you doing, Stranger Things?" I said, "No." I'm doing this movie. That's where Stranger Things got it from. This and John Carpenter shit. That's where that comes from.
Yeah. It does feel very familiar. Like, I've only seen this movie a couple times, and I'm just like, this is very familiar music.
Yeah. So the atmosphere of this movie is you touched on it a little bit, Lydia. The atmosphere of the claustrophobia. I think this is the most atmospheric of all of Romero's of all of his dead films. Right? I think it has the most tension because you're kind of trapped in this essentially what John says is an underground tomb. And whereas night is the very beginning, dawn is pretty much the beginning, and then like parts of the early parts of the zombie apocalypse. This is after it's fully entrenched and they're kind of alone, right? They're just kind of helplessly there. What do you guys think of that kind of setup and like the atmosphere of the movie?
Yeah. This scenario is kind of it's kind of a very hard uh like drama
Mhm.
with the horror, and the tension in this movie is like really high, especially with like the aggressive nature of the soldiers, and they're just
It's
kind of chaotic nature anyway.
Yeah, they've
And
lost
dear
their
God,
minds.
and
Mm,
on a power trip and trying to control what they can, which is everybody in this group. And so yeah, it's a very bleak movie,
yeah,
but
very bleak. Yeah.
obviously that it worked for it. But
Yeah, it works in its favor. I agree.
Yeah, it's pretty brilliant. It's brilliantly done, I have to say. It's you like, and I feel like you can't even talk about it without talking about how good all the acting is too,
Oh,
because it
yeah.
both of those things work so well together to just make you feel like you're really there. Like
Yeah,
you can feel the dust in the room, you can feel the energy of these people just getting more and more frustrated.
yeah, it's like like a coil being pulled tight, right? The tension's got to go somewhere eventually, and it just keeps kind of ratcheting up. We're kind of thrown into it, in media res. Like we're just right there in it, and it's like, "Hey, by the way, these are the circumstances at this point. Here's where we are." Uh And then we're introduced to Sarah, our lead character, and her boyfriend Miguel, who we already know is psychologically broken. Um, and and then we're pretty quickly introduced to the dynamics of the characters. We have John and Bill, who are uh, loners. They have their own team. It's just John and Bill. They're there. Sarah and Miguel, and then the soldiers, which are dropping fast. They just lose their commander at the beginning of the movie. So Rhodes is put in charge. And guys, let me tell you, uh, Joseph Pilato plays Rhodes, and there's not a piece of scenery that's left after he's done chewing it. He chews all of the scenery. But my God, Rhodes is one of the most hateable fucking antagonists in film history, right?
Yeah, that's so true. So
yeah,
true.
and it's mainly like the power trip,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
just
you know,
not likable in any way.
No.
no, you would hope that no one with that type of psychology would make it up that high in the military.
You would hope
But you
that.
never know. You hope not.
Well, that was 40 years ago, and here we are. So
Yeah, but that guy was giving it. So, but yeah, it's he's definitely needs a psych eval, a stat.
yeah, yeah, and I mean, it's not like, and obviously the soldiers have also they've gone too. Everybody's breaking, so we see the tension with the scientists, which we have 3 scientists. We have Sarah and, I don't even know the other scientist's name. What's his name? Dr. Fisher.
Frankenstein.
Well, I know Frankenstein. That's Dr. Logan, yeah. But Dr. Fisher and then Dr. Logan, who they call Frankenstein. And, so guys, this is where it gets kinda crazy because, you know, basically the mission from what we can gather from the characters is that, you know, they were sent there to research and try to figure out basically a cure for the undead, right? Try to figure out what's happening and how to reverse it, how to stop it. And the military was sent there to protect them essentially. And now, since Rhodes took over and everybody's dying, it becomes a military operation because he's insane. Um, and so Frankenstein or Logan, we'll call him Frankenstein. He you know, has some interesting research and he's making progress, but he is also insane. I mean, he's also clearly insane. He's lost his mind.
Mm-hmm.
A
But
little bit.
that doesn't mean he's wrong.
He,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
no. Go ahead, Lydia.
well, yeah, he just seems um believable in, times when he's talking to people. It's when he's not around people, I think, is when he goes a little mad.
Yeah, he's very persuasive. Like when he has his speech with Rhodes, you know, and he's like, "Where are you gonna go?" You know, again, I ask you, where
Hmm.
are you gonna? And he's like so sure of himself because he knows they can't hurt him or they won't hurt him because he's their help to get out of here. And he kind of gets through to Rhodes's caveman skull. Like, where are you gonna go? You know, what are you gonna do? So he's like, okay, I'll give you a little bit more time. But the tension is there early. Obviously, also, Miguel, like I said, is lost his like he's kind of lost it and is basically almost caused the soldier to die because he dropped the pole when they're trying to wrangle more zombies. Which, what, by the way, is kind of a brilliant thing. I like this idea that they have this corral of zombies that they're using as experiments. What do you guys think of that?
Oh yeah, so fun.
I agree. I would find a better way to maybe capture the one that you want or one that you could use than trying to get into a pin with them. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's necessary. So there's two dynamics with the doctors. So there's the ones that are trying to figure out if they can reverse it, and then there's the other doctor who I feel like he's kind of given up on that, and
yeah.
he's
Doctor,
trying to figure out a way to manage the situation.
correct. Doctor Logan has decided that there's just like to they don't have the faculties to research where it came from and how to reverse it. But they do have the ability to research how to manage it. And basically, if he can figure out how to domesticate these things, then we can live amongst them. They can live amongst us. We can kind of work something out. It's kind of an allegory for people in general, right? That's how you should
Mm-hmm.
try to solve your problems is try to kind of work out the solution instead of just trying to eradicate it. Um, but he's going about it with some, you know, not great methods. He's like using dead soldiers' bodies as experiments. By the way, let's talk about, I mean, let's use this little part to talk about some of the special effects. And then at the end, we'll talk about all the great gore at the end. But this bit where he's experimenting on one of the soldiers and it's just a brain with the stem, that's so fucking great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's freaky too. It's like really unnerving to see.
Yeah,
Well, and he's mostly disarmed it at that point. It can't hurt
yeah,
them, but then he can kind of see what that stimuli or stimulus, like how it affects their brain.
yeah,
But it's a wonderful set piece. It looks
yeah.
beautiful.
And then the dude whose guts spill out, uh, that's such a good one. I remember as a kid when I first saw that, I was like, oh, that's so gross, but awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It still makes me feel that way. I still am like, oh my God, that's awesome.
And you know
But
what it
like
is? It's
her reaction too is so good.
yeah, her like turning her head, like when it spills out, that's gross. But when it hits the floor and that sound effect of hits, it's like pure disgusting. It's like, oh my
Dude,
god.
they fully sell every single effect in this
Oh
movie.
yeah,
Like
yeah, and we'll get to the big
100%.
ones. We'll get to the big ones here in a little
Even the
bit of
little
like the
ones, they
yeah.
they do not overlook anything.
Now there's some great freaking set pieces at the end of this thing that we'll talk about here in a minute. That just kind of put it over the top. But we would be remiss if we didn't mention Bub at this point in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, what do you think about Bub?
I love Bub.
Yeah. Is he lovable? No, he's probably not
I,
He
lovable, but
is.
I love Bub. I love Bub. Yeah,
he,
I do.
He's lovable.
you
Because
know,
he's almost like a
lots.
toddler.
Yeah, I mean, lots of sympathy
Yes.
for
Yeah.
for for it, for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bub. Um,
Derek is so logical right now. Look at him.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
We're just like, we
he's
love him.
yeah.
Derek's like, well, listen,
No,
it.
no, he is great because it's proving a couple things. It's proving that the domestication can be a thing, but more importantly, it's proving that they are still us on some level.
mhm.
And maybe we're just kind of dehumanizing them like we sometimes do with other people.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a metaphor in that.
Mhm.
Uh, but it's you can see him like because he grows a genuine affection for Dr. Logan. Like
Oh yeah.
it's not just a oh he feeds me and so I won't hurt him. It's a genuine affection. Like when he goes to move the headphones and he grabs him and you're like thinking he's gonna bite him or whatever, and instead he like kind of just holds his arm like wanting that touch and
Connection.
companionship. And then when he finds Frankenstein's dead body, it's kind of fucking heartbreaking.
Mhm.
Like
It is, yeah.
he feels that.
Yeah, no, and I feel like your likeness to a child, a toddler, 100%. I mean, it's like the brain is reset and they're
Hmm.
primal. They're at the
Hmm.
basic instincts. And so, yeah, he does, I'm sure, attach himself to him more like you would a child to a parent. Um, and that scene where he puts the headphones on him, like you just mentioned, like music is such a universal
Hmm.
thing. I mean, it's like kind of at your core. And so it's a cool experience to watch a zombie listen to music because I'm sure it's tapping into something that he, recalls from being a person.
Yeah, and it like moves him. You could see it move him, and
Mhm.
then you see him like remembering that he was part of the military and when he salutes Rhodes and this sort of stuff, and that he remembers how to use a gun is very important. So it's like he's the evolution of where Big Daddy ends up going in the next movie. Big Daddy is a step above Bub, you know, and we'll get there eventually. But yeah, he's a great his design. What do you guys think of the design of Bub?
He looks great.
He does
I
look
imagine
great.
he smells really bad.
Oh yeah,
Most
definitely.
likely. That jacket, no
Yeah,
That
dry cleaner is gonna get that.
that
no,
green skin,
I love it.
just
Sherman Howard is who plays Bub, by the way, and he does a fantastic job. And we talked about the actors already. Let's kind of get into them just a little bit. Laurie Cardell plays Sarah, who's our lead, and I think she's great. She's one of my favorite of the protagonists in these movies.
Yep.
she's awesome. She's so strong for what she
Yeah,
has to go through.
she's strong, she's confident, she's capable, she's smart. You know, she's pretty cool.
And that scene where her and her boyfriend are then he slaps her in the face
Yeah,
and I know he's going through it. And let me tell you what,
mm,
I would probably be in the same boat. Like How the other people aren't actually having a mental breakdown to the point where they just want to lay in bed all day. I don't know, but I don't know if I would take it if I were her, even though I'm sure she understands.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
lot.
and the fact that, like, these people are here to do a job probably makes it slightly easier than other zombie movies that we've seen, because usually people are just civilians thrown into this and have to figure out where to go and what to do. But these people are like, we have to be here to do this. So we have a reason to keep going doing what they're doing.
Mhm.
And, they're not probably as stressed about leaving, which I mean, I guess like the bad guy really wants to leave more than
Yeah.
anything, but
Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, I think it's also part of she uses it as a crutch because that's kind of her
mhm.
way to hold on to normalcy, right? Is to just kind of
Yeah.
keep doing the thing. And John has that speech, which, by the way, John is excellent, played by Terry Alexander. Uh, he has that big long speech about like basically, look, they have all these archives down here. They have all of this stuff. Um, and what good's it going to do? You know, what good's any of it? And then, he tells her that if they if they could start over, the first thing they would teach the kids is never to come back here and unbury this stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe this is all wrath of God stuff. Maybe it's because, he didn't want to see us blow ourselves up and all that stuff. What'd you guys think of his speech and his character and performance?
I think his character and performance was amazing. Fantastic. 100% loved it. The but the logic that he uses is like, I was just like, he was like God's wrath, and I kind of was like, well, that's just as silly as her her
Yes.
ideals, like, but that was the only thing I had to say about that. I was
Yeah,
like,
for
other than
for
that, the
those
scene is amazing.
yeah, for the non-believers, of course, that seems absolutely silly for us science folk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and he is a pilot,
Mhm.
and you know, uh, and maybe there are scientists out there that obviously believe in a higher power, but it really goes back to your belief structure and what your interpretation of what's happened. Is this the rapture? Is this like the
Apocalypse?
yeah, the apocalypse, or is it a virus?
Yeah.
And people interpret this in different ways. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yep.
then,
Yep.
also, since we're talking about John, we've gotta talk about Bill, who is played by, Jarlath Conroy, and he's freaking great too, right? The alcoholic radio operator.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. This is the realest dude I've ever seen in a
Yeah,
movie ever.
yeah. Looks like he just came off the street, right?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
who he always, like, physically reminds me of? He physically reminds me of my Uncle Jeff.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Doesn't he?
I could
You
see
see
that.
Uncle Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah. He
A little bit. A
always
little bit.
when I was a kid, I was like, "He kinda looks like Uncle Jeff a little bit." Like, there's some similarities in him.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of Uncle Jeff, by the way. But, hi, Uncle Jeff. But, yeah, he's great. He's I love how they end up, you know, growing the friendship with Sarah, which they've always kinda had, like, a mutual respect, but they've always kind of all been butting heads, and when she decides to go over and they have that speech and we see the really fucking cool Ritz, that as they call it, their home. I love their home setup, right?
Oh
Hmm.
my gosh, yes.
I would
So
build
good.
that in my house as my
Yeah,
bat cave.
That's
yeah, the last
absolutely what I would be doing in this situation, by the way.
Hell yeah, I'd be hunkering down
getting
in a
drunk.
bunker. Yep.
Yeah,
Hopefully
sure.
you have a bunch of movies on VHS or whatever the media was back then, and
I'm just like, I'm gonna be the one that's searching for like the decor. I'm like, that's
oh
what I
my,
do anyways.
get
So
out of here.
I'm like, give me the tropical backdrop and the, flamingos, whatever they have. Just make it feel homey
Yeah, they have like
or like a
like
paradise.
the palm trees, make it look like they have the cardboard palm trees, make it feel like a backyard. And her face, I
Yeah.
love her genuine like happiness when she sees it is great. It's a great
Yeah. That's
performance
what it's
beat.
about.
Uh-huh.
That's
Great
what it's
performance
about.
beat.
Uh-huh. 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 Me too.
He says some people have different opinions on how you should be spending your time.
Yes, because he's like, no, that's what you should be doing, baby. You know, you should be just kind of living it up. It's a shame to waste the what time you have left, kind of is his philosophy.
Yeah.
And then you know, the shit hits the fan, of course, and we're kind of at the third act, and we after Frankenstein dies, that Rhodes just loses it and starts like fucking basically just murdering people. Miguel, oh, dude, let's talk about first Miguel's getting bit, because this one wasn't his fault. The strap
Yeah.
broke, but it's just a bad break that happened to happen to him. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Old
Because
leather strap just
mhm,
ripped right in half.
yep. So he's to blame. He gets the blame. A lot of people die. Old Greg Nicotero gets killed here by Greg.
Old? You mean young Greg
Super
Nicotero?
young Greg Nicotero. But yeah, he bites the bullet here, literally. And then we see him later in an amazing special effect where his fucking head, an animatronic version of his head, is like on the lab. That's so fucking
Mm-hmm.
cool. That's so cool.
Because
Um,
they had a cast of his head, and they were just
well,
like, we gotta use it.
yeah, of course they did. He's like, I made a cast of my head.
Yeah. So you don't just waste that opportunity.
No. So this whole third act after, but Miguel getting his arm chopped off is so visceral when it happens. Such a
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
visceral effect in the way that like
Oh my gosh.
she
Yes.
scoots it off, and then it's
It's crazy because
pouring
in
blood.
movies today, a scene like that, they'll cut away from it. They won't show that happen.
They'll cut
So
away,
when
or
you
it'll be
just she
CG and have no impact. Yeah,
CG, yes, and she just hacks right into it, no cuts, no nothing, and you just see that machete go into that arm, and it is so good.
yeah, it's
Blue, it
gnarly.
blows me away every time.
And then also when she cauterizes the wound with the
Mhm.
fire,
Mhm.
oh man, like that looks great
Yeah.
when it's all
Wakes
burnt
him
and
right
stuff.
up.
And his reaction, can you imagine? You got bit, so you ran because you're losing it anyway. You wake up and your arm's been amputated. Oh, also it's on fire. It's like, oh
Mm,
my
yeah.
god, what
Like,
are
I
you gonna
dare
do?
you to not go into shock.
I could see why he decides to just release the zombie horde upon everyone. I guess. I mean, maybe he could have just ended himself and let everybody live, but whatever. He's lost it. But this
Yeah.
whole third act, after Rhodes decides to murder Frankenstein and Fisher in cold blood, and then tries to make John fly the helicopter, and he's like, "I'm not going to do it." So they try to beat him up. One of the most satisfying things is when John knocks his fucking ass out. It's just the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just love that shit. And I'd be
Oh, the
remiss
most
if I,
satisfying thing.
yeah, the most satisfying happens at the end, but it's pretty satisfying. But I'd be remiss not to mention both Steele and Rickles, um, who are played by Gary Howard Clark plays Steele, and Ralph Mario plays Rickles. Those are two fucking memorable characters, right? That give some
Yeah.
pretty memorable
Mhm.
performances. What do you
Oh,
guys think of
yeah. No,
Steele and
I think
Rickles?
I hate them, but I think they did
Yes,
great as actors.
correct.
Yeah, his laugh, man.
Oh,
You
Rickles,
just
yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's like nails on a chalkboard. You know
What
what I
I kind
mean?
of
Yeah.
what I
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of find interesting about Steele is you can see some conflict in him at certain times. He's not necessarily a one-dimensional villain.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's hesitant to shoot Sarah. He doesn't want to shoot Sarah. He's completely
Yep.
hesitant about that situation. I mean, he's a racist prick and he sucks, but you see, like, that's a line he's not willing to cross until he's held at
Mhm.
gunpoint. And then you also see when he has Miguel, hey, are you got this? Like, do you got this? And then when he, of course, everything happens, he's like, it's this guy's fault because he's a racist bigot, like I said, using a bunch of racial slurs against him. But Rickles is just like a little kid, man. Rickles is just a just a little kid. He's, when they go to the thing and they realize that it's been pulled out, he's like, "Well, fix it." He's like,
Yeah, fix it.
"What do you mean fix it?" He's like, come on, Steel, fix it." He's like, "I can't fix it." He fucking, what are you talking about? Because he just can't comprehend it because he's a little kid. Also, it is glorious that once the zombies come down, Rhodes just ditches all of them. It's like, you should have known you'd do that, man. He cares about nobody but himself. Always has. About the first time that he decided to point a gun at one of the civilians would have been the time that me as a soldier would have fucking shot him in the head.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
ended that. I would had a
There
mutiny pretty quickly, you know?
and that's what I was gonna say. I was like, there would have been a mutiny so fast if that happened.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. But yeah, this whole third act is a showcase for Tom Savini and his special effects because we get some fucking bangers. First of all, what do you guys think of the zombie designs in this movie are much upgraded from Dawn of the Dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not only the color, but the makeup effects, the prosthetics, everything looks better. I mean, there's been nearly 10 years, not quite 8 years, between the movies in advancements. But what do you think of the zombies in general, the aesthetic of the zombies in this one?
I think they're great. They're I really enjoy just like picking out the characters.
Mhm. Like
Also,
the
and like
football guy?
all
The football guy
you
always
gotta
makes me
have
laugh.
the football guy, the fisherman,
Yeah.
just all the little characters. It's very classic
Yeah.
Romero.
Yeah. Um, but let's talk about these special effects, these Savini special effects, because
Yeah.
we've got some bangers that we're not going to be able to show you here on YouTube, unfortunately. But
Mhm.
but we're going to talk about them a little bit because um when Rickles gets his eye ripped out, his face and they're gouging his eye is incredible, right?
Yeah. Yep. That one I forgot about and I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah, ooh. And then when the dude's head gets ripped off of his body is amazing. The invisible cut there from the actor's head to the animatronic is fucking flawless.
I don't know how they did that. I really truly don't.
Derek, what do you think of that one?
Yeah, the shovel also.
The shovel is a
The
fucking
shovel?
is a
The
showstopper.
Yeah, the after,
Yeah.
like whenever they walk away and you see the head upside down, like just halfway cut off.
It's like
For the
blinking.
period of time when this movie was made, you're just like, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Oh,
great optical
yeah.
effect. Brilliant optical
Yeah,
effect.
because the eyes
It
blink as
Yeah.
well. I was
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
eyes blink.
impressed by that one that special effect. I was like, this movie a masterpiece
Yes.
for the
Dude,
Dude, the
special effects.
when he
shovel
does the
hit,
shovel
cut,
and then dude,
kick the
that's the
head,
best.
and then you get the head blinking, and it's just like,
Yeah. Dude, when
imagine
it
seeing
hits,
that as a little kid
I don't have to imagine. I
when this
saw it as
came
a little
out.
kid.
Yeah,
Like
Jenny's like, well, now that you brought it up.
I was in
like,
junior high.
that would have destroyed me as a kid.
So when it hits and it scoots, that's like almost done in like one take. It's so
Yeah.
cool where that hidden cut is. Because
Yeah.
obviously it's a cutout shovel, boom, to do this bit. And then it's a separate piece when it flies. It's just so good. So just great film craft. Great film craft. And then we got to get into some like the neck bites and stuff. Those look great when they're
Mhm.
biting off pieces of flesh on people and tearing out guts and stuff. And guys, when they freaking let's talk about Rose's demise because it's super satisfying because not only does he get chased down and shot by Bub multiple times, and you're just like, yes, kill him, fuck Rhodes. So not only does he get the shot multiple times, they get shot in the stomach, but there's that amazing shot of when he opens the door and all the hands And we get
Mhm.
his, looking at him and all the hands. That's such a
That
fucking awesome shot, isn't it?
such a gorgeous shot.
God, all-timer shot. And then the special effects of his fucking torso being ripped apart and all the guts come that is phenomenal,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's
Like
an all-timer.
that shit looks real. That shit looks real.
It really does. His acting throughout it too is when he just keeps going and going and going and then he's just done and it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, he
tough.
just can't he's done. Yeah, it's great. He
Yeah.
tells him to choke on him. The
Mhm.
best is his, like, absolute fear when he sees all the zombies, and then he's just like, "I'm fucked." It's just so great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, old Steel ends up shooting himself, because he gets bit, so
Yep.
he has to take himself out.
And
And
he's
then we
about to
just get
get more bites.
some super eerie shots of just zombies feasting upon the
Oh,
flesh.
what do you mean eerie? That was like a party.
Yeah, it's, like,
Yeah.
so, like, disgusting. Like,
It's
oh
like
my
somehow
god.
upbeat.
It's like, oh my god. There's, like
I leaned over. Go ahead.
it's just, like I mean, it's good. It's, like, so, like, just
Yeah. It's
and
so good. I love
and
this scene so much.
the transition from that chain link fence to the chain link fence outside is also a beautiful match cut. Um, there's also a great match cut that I like, which I'll talk about real quick, where after after John gives his speech, and then, we're on Sarah's face, and it just kinda cuts to the the machine, and then we cut to Sarah, we realize another day's passed, she's got a hangover. I really love that kinda shit, that's, like, great filmmaking, just, like, great
Mhm.
J cut, you know what I mean? A great J cut. But, what do you guys think of the ending to this? Because as bleak as the movie is, it ends pretty happily, except for maybe humanity. But for our characters, it doesn't seem to be too bad, right?
It doesn't. And for the movie you've been watching for it ends it's hope.
Yeah,
What better to go from a dungeon, a tomb you mentioned, to a beach with possibility.
yeah,
And they also look happy.
yeah,
Yeah. The
So,
sunshine,
yeah.
fishing, flying a kite, whatever you want to do, just being happy.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and it's like they do a great fake out, scare as well when she opens the helicopter and she's grabbed by a zombie, and then we cut to her waking up on the beach. Because first we just
Mhm.
cut to her waking up and we have no idea where she is. Then that reveal happens, and the last thing we see is the calendar, and they've been there for, several days because it was
Mhm.
October at the beginning of the movie, right? Is that
Hmm.
what the
Yeah, because it was like a pumpkin patch
yeah, yeah, it was October.
on the
It's the
calendar.
beginning on the calendar. So now it's, days have passed. They've been there at least for 4 days because it's the fourth day of November, and there's hope. What do you guys think of the ending? Good?
Mhm.
Love it.
Yep. It's
There's
appropriate for where we were to where we got to.
we also end on, or there's also this really great shot I want to talk about where they're climbing the ladder to get up the freedom, and we kind of crane shot up around them as they're climbing. I just think it's a great fucking shot.
Mhm.
Uh, because we get a couple of fake out deaths. We think that Bill's going to die at one point, and then he just decides to murk those zombies. We think that John's going to die several times, and he just keeps surviving. We think Sarah's going to die a couple times, and she survives. So the fact that all three of our protagonists make it out is pretty cool. And because we had enough death and destruction, you know, they get to make it out. So that's Day of the Dead, guys. What do you think?
This is one of those movies that was, I guarantee, groundbreaking and influential throughout the horror genre. Especially the special effects. It's it's hard to, like, put your and I've mentioned this on other movies, but, like, you don't really have the appreciation for a movie like this because it's not like you had everything that came before it, and then this is the brand new thing and what it, like, brought to the table. You take it for granted, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Um, but yeah, it was a good movie. It was great, obviously. Um, a absolute plus for the special effects. I would love to spend a weekend. This is just ridiculous, but I would love to spend a weekend in like a scenario like this just to see how you react because would I go crazy like they did? I don't know.
In 3 days?
Yeah, you don't want to stay 4 because that's when the shit really hits the fan.
It's
It's
too
on the
real at
fourth
that point.
day. Too real. I'm like, all right, weekend's over.
I think I can be like, hold it together for 3 days at least.
That's my max. Um, yeah, I'm gonna give this movie an 8.5. It's killer. Pun intended.
Lydia,
Yeah.
what say you?
I well, the first time I watched this movie, I watched it, like, in the perfect condition, so it was, like, on my, TV in my living room with the lights out and just got to, like, fully absorb it, which I didn't quite do this time because I was, with Jake and we were eating dinner and the dogs are being annoying and all this, but, this movie had such an impact on me. I think it's my favorite, like, Romero movie. I love this movie so much. It's I mean, I'm an effects girl, so of course, but I'm gonna give this movie a 10. I think everything about it's great, just great.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off that, I've said it's my favorite Romero movie. It's definitely my favorite of the Romero Dead films. Um, my favorite altogether might be Creepshow. Creepshow might be my favorite all-time Romero movie because it's pretty fucking great. But it's the best of the Dead movies, I think for sure. Uh, and the other ones are great. What did I give Dawn of the Dead, Derek? I think me and Lydia both gave it really high marks. You gave it lower marks than us.
So both you and Lydia gave the last one 10s.
Oh, well then you
Oh,
know what?
wow.
This one's a 10 too. This one's a 10 too. Bump it up because it's the best of them.
Dang,
Yeah,
they're good. They're good movies.
yeah. This is a 10. Yeah, I love everything about this movie. I love, like I said, the acting, the writing, the direction, the cinematography, the score, the acting, the set design. It's just, I think it's a really great, and dude, especially the movie was made on a budget, by the way. Here's what kind of blows me away, of 3.45 to $4 million, right? Which makes sense why it's in this contained area and they can bring in the extras to kind of make it bigger. But guys, on that budget, closing off that street and making it look desolate and set dressing it and hiring those extras, that is fucking phenomenal on this scale in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looked almost like they did some kind of trickery with that street also, like maybe some kind of matte paintings or something.
Well,
I'm not
further
sure what
back,
was going on.
I know the street it was definitely closed off. I need to see what street that was. Um,
It might have just
because
been
I
the
mean,
buildings.
yeah. So here's what's crazy about it. It was shot in Pennsylvania and Florida. All the above ground scenes were filmed in locations around Florida, where Romero was living at the time, and the opening scene was filmed in the downtown area of Fort Myers, Florida. There you go. One of the other things that I want to mention real fast is that this movie was originally way, way bigger, right? Uh, Originally, he wanted this film to be Gone with the Wind of zombie movies, right?
Whoa.
So he wrote this big, huge film. The first draft was over 200 pages, right? Uh, and then the budget was cut. He had a $7 million budget, and it was cut to 3.5, cut in half. Uh, so he condensed his 200 pages down to a 155-page draft, and then condensed that again to a 104-page draft. So it's like it just kind of kept, you know what I mean, cutting
Wow.
down until they got to the movie that they have, which was a shooting script of 88 pages. So this went from a story that was 200 pages to 88 to fit the budget of $3.5 million.
That's wild.
So
Wow.
he uses a lot of the ideas that he had for the original Day of the Dead in the next film, Land of the Dead, because Land of the Dead has a big budget, the biggest budget he ever worked with. So he reused some of those ideas for that. But thankfully, he didn't get the budget because we wouldn't have had this masterpiece of a film. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, ingenuity is created, like stress and problems create ingenuity and creativity. And so the fact that he was able to make not only a coherent story after his original draft, but craft this movie is kind of fucking incredible, right?
Yep.
So hats off to George Romero, a maestro. All right, guys. Now it's time to Atkinize this movie. Who would the great Tom Atkins play in Day of the Dead?
Thrill me.
That is a good question.
He could play Bill.
Yeah.
I think I'd put him as Bill. Right?
Let's do it.
Yep. He's Bill. I love you, Bill, but it's Tom Atkins. You have to understand. Sorry, Uncle Jeff. Hopefully you understand. All right. Whose turn is it to pick this week?
Oh, that would be mine.
All right, Derek. What are we watching next week? And please don't make it a terrible movie.
Well, that is subjective. Let's see. In the craze that was the Ghost Adventure era of TV shows, they came out with Grave Encounters. And I think we're going to take a ride and go watch that movie.
I think we're going to take a ride and watch that movie.
We're gonna go to the drive-in, apparently.
We're going to get on a roller coaster. Then we're going to watch Grave Encounter.
It is streaming on Tubi, Sling TV, Plex, Pluto TV, pretty much all of them. The Roku
Okay.
channel. If you feel like giving it money, you can get it on Google Play.
So it's on all of them,
Not
eh?
getting my money, Grave Encounters.
Yep.
Not happening, pal. No, so it's available on all of those platforms. Yes, Derek?
Yep.
All right, great.
I don't know if I've ever seen this one.
Yeah,
which
I don't
is
know
shocking for me.
I don't think I have either. Be sure to comment down below your thoughts on this film right here. Day of the Dead. What do you think? Is it your favorite of Romero's Dead saga? What's your favorite scene? What's your favorite special effects? Let us know. We're dying to find out. Also below, you can tell us what movie you're looking forward to us doing. Suggest some stuff so that way, like Derek picked Grave Encounters this time, but sometimes he picks shit like Slime City. So if you would give us some suggestions, that would keep Slime City at bay for a while, is what we're saying.
Yeah, we'll put your suggestions in place of Derek's picks.
Yeah, he'll say, we're going to do strippers versus werewolves. And we'll say, oh, this person wants us to do Hansel and Gretel. We're going to do that one instead.
Guys, I'm right here, man.
So be sure to tune in for those. You can follow us online at HiLaProductions.com. You can follow us on Facebook at HiLa Productions, where you'll get the latest news on the feature film that we are working on, Secret Admirer, which you can check out the opening scene at the end of this. You can also keep up to date on the news that we are going to drop next week on the title of our new short that we're working on. It's going to be a good one. So we're going to let you know what that is. That'll be shooting this summer, and we'll keep you updated on the progress of that. So until then, for Derek Lemaster and Lydia Judy, I'm Jamie Hiles. And remember, if you're going to scream bloody movies.